What is happening? Welcome to another pitcher video breakdown. We've got a very, very exciting one today because it's an MLB debut. We're going to watch all of it of Bobby Miller. Who is this guy? They call him Bobby 100 in the minors as he pitches 100-mile-per-hour fastballs for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He made his MLB debut against the Braves, and we're just going to watch it. And he starts it off with throwing 100 that Acuna grounds out. All right. I mean, you generally see that. You generally see batters are more aggressive early in counts against fastballs because when you see MLB debuts, you see a lot of guys are trying to establish the zone with their fastball. Hitters know that, so you'll see stuff like that. And Acuna grounded out, so it goes. 24-year-old righty. So that's 100 down the pipe. And what we're going to see through this entire thing is the 100 isn't the full story. It is not as good of a fastball as, say, Bryce Miller's or even Mason Miller's. He is the worst fastball of the three despite being called Bobby 100. And the Expo Bacon, I would imagine, is pretty high on that pitch relative to the other ones. Okay. So 0-1 throws a fastball down the middle. Let's see what else we get. And not surprising, he's just going lots of fastballs early. That's kind of what I heard about Bobby Miller.
Nickname that he got in the minors is Bobby 100 because, as we're seeing, he routinely.
And I want to watch that one more time because this is a slider and it's filthy. Inside, I mean, starting inside corner coming off, that is a legit slider. And I kind of think that Olsen went around. I'm surprised he didn't get it. For an 0-2 pitch, that is deadly. So he throws that 100 up now, and I don't even know what arsenal Bobby Miller has. However, I would say what the pitch would be right now would be a changeup away. If you had one, now would be the time. And there it is at 89. Gets the out. That's beautiful. Bobby Miller just threw two fastballs in the zone. Got to 0-2. Threw a really tempting slider. Almost got the strikeout on it. Tried to go upstairs with 100. Missed, but he missed out of the zone. He didn't miss in the zone. That would result in maybe a hit. And then executed a perfect. I mean, this is... This might have been my favorite pitch of the entire MLB debut from Bobby Miller. It's a perfect changeup down and away that gets an out. And it's not the overpowering strikeout that you know. It's not the 100 gas. But that is a pitcher. And to see that in an MLB debut, let alone the second batter of the game, shows a lot more maturity that I thought I would see from Bobby Miller. So here's Sean Murphy. And see, there's 100 right down the middle. Murphy's able to lace it to left, right? And we normally do see that guys being more aggressive again because more fastballs are going to be thrown, especially in the first inning in MLB debuts. But that also shows you that that 100 is still kind of hittable, right? So here's the threatening Austin Riley. So he throws a first pitch slider. Guess what? Free real estate. Especially in the first inning of that debut, right? Where he's thinking fastball, okay? And another slider. Oh, and he gets a call on that one. Again, really good. He's throwing good sliders. That's three of them that I've liked so far. Even though that was off the plate a little bit, I like that. And he throws a fastball. He tries to put this one upstairs. This is supposed to be a high heater at 0-2. And it should not be there, right? It should not be down and away. That is an absolute mistake. Right, so that's the first run of the game. It's actually the only one that Bobby Miller allows in this one. But that's the kind of stuff that, A, you need better command on that one in 0-2. We saw in the previous one. But B, even at 100 against Austin Riley, you can't throw that pitch. And it's also hittable. You know, there's some guys that are able to get away with that at 96, even at 0-2, because it's a really hard to hit fastball. Bryce Miller would be, for example. Not Bobby Miller. So that's a triple, and he knows that Rosario is a junk swinger, right? And this is actually a huge thing. 2 outs, man on third. You can pitch around guys, especially ones that are junk swingers like Rosario. So don't feel like you need to just chuck fastballs in there. That's why Miller went with 2 breaking balls. He didn't execute them. And at 2-0, he throws a really good fastball up and in. That's hard for Rosario to handle. Then you'd imagine he'd go away from the fastball now and get strikes that way. Got another one, good. And then threw a changeup, and Bueno got another out with it. Another 2-2 changeup to get an out down. I love it. I love it against the lefty. 99 down the pipe. All right.
Spencer going back, checking the iPad.
Woo! Woo! That is so much ride. Oh, man, not as much fade. That is not depth to it. But, man, that thing starts like in the middle of the plate. Look at this again. It's going to start like right in the middle. Oh, my gosh. That's fun. And there's that. So, oh, man. If I were to make like a one of those, Alex Fast gifts that's like down the middle and then they split up. I mean, that's this. Completely opposite directions, both starting down the middle. One goes to the left, one goes to the right. That was, man. That's fun. Now you throw a fastball up and it's just, what is going on? Yeah. But that's the thing. So this is a 2-1 pitch, right? 2-1, middle away, hittable. And you say, Nick, that's kind of down. I'm like, yeah. If you want down, you got to really get it down here. But for a guy like Albies, who is a slap hitter who can do this, this is just hittable. We've seen 3 hits on all 4-seamers so far. There's a slider for a strike. Free real estate. Another one, he gets it in there. Not really the sexiest one, but now it's a strike. So 0-2 now. What do? You throw another changeup. And this is actually, once again, he got out on an executed changeup. This is pretty filthy. Like, this is diving inside. Think of it like a sinker, right? Now, if this is a sinker, this probably gets either a whiff or a grounder to third. Because it's a changeup, that means he's out in front, which means the bat is underneath and comes up. That's why it's a fly out. But that's pretty cool. I mean, he wants that to be down, though, for the record. 99 doesn't get the call down. I mean, no one's ever going to get that strike call. No one. I like that he's going to change a righty-righty, though. 99 down. I'm surprised, actually, that RC has swung at that one. That's nasty. See, that's actually the changeup that he wanted to throw against Ozuna. That is filthy, but at 2-1, you're not going to usually get that. Fastball inside, got it inside enough that this could be an out, right? So that's good. You got out of it. Hilliard was like hunting heater here and just took us for a ride. They're trying to go away, I think. Oh, man, and he just got the barrel down, and, man, that could have gone so far. It's a hittable fastball, guys. That's a nice changeup. Oh, my gosh. After seeing him on the fastball like that, you go the changeup. Darted so far away. Hilliard just swings out of his shoes. I mean, it was a foul ball, but still, man. And there's a big breaking ball at 81, right? After that first pitch fastball, you know that you're not going to give another heater to Hilliard. He's just timed for that. And the fact that he was ahead of it, it's like, okay, I need to slow down here. I need to get him ahead of that and beat him that way. And that 81-mile-per-hour curveball, we haven't seen that yet. That was the first time he did it. 0-2. Perfect. Under the zone here. Hilliard has no idea how far this is going to drop. That's so tempting for so long, and then it's not a strike anymore. Such a good pitch. Beautiful. He tries to get the first pitch. Curveball doesn't make it work. Changeup in there at 88. Doesn't get the call that time. Come on, Blue. That's 98. That looked like a sinker almost with how much ride it gets. But actually, the 4-seamer has that ride. And that's actually a typical thing. When you think of fastballs that don't have as much success in the zone, there's a 4-seamer that isn't getting whiffs in the zone. It generally is because it has more horizontal ride than it does upward motion, right? Or induced vertical break. And Miller's, to me, has more of the ride to it than the elevation. Almost got it. Honestly, would have it was a good throw. That's so nasty. And I gotta say, like, I really like the fact that Miller is leaning this much on a changeup. Throwing 100 and having an 87-mile-per-hour changeup is a great combination. It is really great. So I'm a fan of that. And I hope to, hope that really is what he does.
1-2.
I mean, look at that. That's 87 down the pipe, but just so far out in front is Olson. Like, just the velocity gap of 12 miles per hour. That's a huge gap. That's why you just missed an 87-mile-per-hour pitch down the middle.
During the regular season, but it's glaring in the postseason.
Slider. So that, I mean, if that's farther in, that's going to be a strike 3 because it's in the zone at 1-2. That's going to be swung at, and in contact is going to be made. Little dangerous at 1-2 because the swing decision is super up at 1-2, and in the zone there is right where the barrel, that's the danger zone for lefties.
1-2 fouled off again.
That's a good 100. That's a good 100 up at stairs and gets the foul ball, not a whiff. See, that's the slider at 1-2 that might have actually worked then. I mean, it was 1-2 again, but this is a different scenario. After seeing the slider from before and the fastball up, you kind of expected that slider.
2-2 pitch.
Change up away. Nice job, Olson, fouling that one off. That's a really good change up. Nah. So he gave up on that one and actually almost came back over because he gave up on the thing it was a fastball. So actually, if that was away, probably would have had him.
MLB.com. And his 3-2 offering is
Good fastball again up. Olson fouls it off. Another indication, not the most elite fastball despite being 100. So he finally got him at 99 up and away because I think Olson was probably not sitting on fastball as much as the previous pitches were. Like this one, he's probably thinking changeup it could be, or because it was a little bit lower, or maybe a slider or something else. That's probably why he missed in that 99. But good job executing Bobby Miller there. Like, I will say, watching this one versus a lot of other prospect pitchers, more of a complete pitcher. He's not really throwing too many waste pitches. There are some here and there, like the ones to Rosario, he had some. The ones to Acuna, he really messed up. But I think he was just kind of afraid of Acuna. Fine. But he is, for the most part, doing what he wants to do. And that's a huge deal. I mean, yeah, like, okay, he's just trying to get a slider for the strike there. He got one. Murphy tried to jump on it, but couldn't do it. Fastball inside. Got it. Jammed him. Good. Now you can throw a changeup underneath. Those 99, and he fights that off, Murphy. He knows he doesn't want to swing at it. That's an interesting swing. It's very defensive. It's very aggressive. That kind of tells me that he is looking fastball and he thinks he's timing up to when he wants to do it, but then he can't hold back in time. So I would probably have gone. That tells me that changeup would have worked. And he tries to do it, he just can't execute it, unfortunately. Right after I say, like, he's executing, right? Oh, there he does. He gets him. Come on. Oh! It's twice. The Olsen one and that one. Oh, come on. I want it. Fastball inside. Good stuff. Slider away probably will get him now. He hasn't really seen that. Nice play, Muncy. Beautiful. So, it's weird. This is a front door slider. It's not supposed to be front door. We actually threw an earlier slider in the count, not a good one. This is another bad one that's supposed to be out here, and it lands over here. And to see a grounder like this, I think he hit it pretty hard. Generally, that would be crushed a lot more if he's expecting one, but I think because he hasn't seen a slider for a while, he isn't able to do more damage with it. Almost gets through the hole, though. That's a good first pitch slider. This is great. To Austin Riley, and Austin Riley's a smart hitter. I think he would expect not to see a fastball first pitch here. But Bobby Miller executes this. This is perfect. Down and away here. And Riley getting decent win on this is props to Riley, but it's the end of the bat still, and that's why it's that out. That's really cool from Bobby Miller. I dig it. He tries to get first pitch strike. Free realistic with the curveball. Doesn't get it. Fastball in there. Okay, fine. Change up. Love it. Oh, that's such a good one. You get the strike, almost get the out. Throws a curveball, looks like there. Let me see one more time. Yeah, curveball. I don't know what Rosario is swinging at. Like, that's never a strike. That wasn't a good executed one. It worked against Rosario. Okay, cool. Change up first pitch for a strike. I'd love to see it. Really, the changeup is just, to me, sure, there have been a decent amount of mistakes in them, but I feel like that is such a difference maker for Bobby Miller. We've seen other guys with velocity that doesn't really pan out, and having a changeup to nullify it with also what I think is breaking pitches that could get better. Like, I could see a day where that slider is just killing it, or maybe the curveball is, right? We saw that really, really good one to Hilliard, right? But that fastball changeup combination is really, I think, the foundation here for Miller. And I think that's a very good one to help deal with the fact that his fastball gets hit harder than it should based on the velocity, right? Like, those aren't whiffs, and normally it would be a whiff, and it's not. That's a lofted, yeah. That's annoying. What are you doing? So there are a couple things here. So first and foremost, where's this pitch? Yeah, that's up, elevated. That's a mistake completely all the way through. Now, when you're an outfielder, so here's the situation. The rule of thumb is, if you're an outfielder, when do you dive to make a catch? One, if you're super confident that you're going to catch it if you dive, fine. But two, there's a whole rule of thumb of, like, you dive if you have the other fielder behind you. So, like, let's say you're the center fielder and you're in front of the left fielder. You dive because if you miss it, you've got the backup. It doesn't really matter. Might as well take the chance to make the catch. But this isn't where you dive. You don't dive for this one, because if you don't dive, you stop it to be a single. You're not going to catch this. You don't have the fielder close enough to you. So you're not supposed to dive on this one. I don't know what that was, and now you've given the base runner an extra base. So I'm all for, like, errors in this game, being on fielders being like, you allowed runners to get extra bases, or, like, I hate the sun in the eyes one not being an error. That's ridiculous. That to me is an error on the left fielder. That should have been a single. Every time that's a single, and then there's all of a sudden this is a double because he dove, and he shouldn't have dove, you know? That's stupid. So that's annoying. So you got to deal with that now. Great slider. It's the same thing we saw from Miller to Riley, man on third, right? Big boy up. You throw a slider down, away. You get the strike. Beautiful. There's a big curveball now, and you see two off speed here. Oh, man, more of that stuff with Ozuna is ridiculous. He's swinging at them, which kind of tells me that he is trying to time up for the secondary stuff. I would go fastball up at this point.
Well, there wasn't a discussion.
You know, that's 3 for 3 that he swung and fouled off on a lower velocity. Yeah, there you go. At the very least, like, I would try it again. Like, I would still not throw it for a strike, but I would make it closer and make it like, oh no, he's actually trying to go after fastballs to really hammer that in, then go secondary. Because he's not swinging at that one right now. Now it's 3-2. Okay, there you go. Oh, what are you doing, Ozuna? I mean, I think he's imagining, okay, 3-2, he's going to throw a fastball now because that's what he trusts to throw a strike. So fine. You got away with that one, Miller. Normally, I think guys would just take that for ball 4. So that's interesting. So I feel like, let's just watch this really quickly. Look at the break of this versus the break of this. It's the same. I was wondering if Miller does have more of a tighter cutter-esque slider and then more of a loopier one if he changes that, but I don't think he does. I think it's just random variants of trying to do the same thing. Fastball, you can see the tail on this one. Right? So like this is absolutely getting tail where it's here. It's coming out of the hand and kind of going more towards the middle of the plate, and then it falls off inside. And that's not a sinker, that's his four-seamer. And that's how you can see that there is that ride on it, which I think is the reason why he's not getting as many whiffs as he can. Or that we want him to. I like the changeup there, that's good. And fastball up, see, that's not getting the whiff. That 100 at that spot, a 1-2 count, is usually strike 3. But he's just not getting it. It's really annoying. That's a nice slider. That's a nice slider. Throw it a second time, you'll get him this time.
1-2 pitch.
Oh, that's the changeup inside. He fouled him off. That's good movement again, though. Oh, wow. These are amazing takes, Arcia. I think what you got to do now is you got to throw a fastball over here.
And it misses. I'll try it again.
There's a fastball inside, jammed him. I mean, those are great executed pitches in that entire at bat from Bobby Miller. Great. You know, and it's like I don't normally see that kind of good execution from an MLB debut. That's the pitch. That down and away fastball. I think actually Bobby Miller should be throwing a decent amount more of those. And I know that sounds crazy because I'm always like high fastballs. I don't think Miller's fastball plays as well up in the zone as we want it to. And if you can do that and then play the changeup off of that, that actually might be really, really nice. He doesn't have that whiff heavy upstairs fastball.
And now you're down.
That's a nice breaking ball.
To me, I think it's a little bit tougher.
Hey, you got a whiff. I think it's because Hilliard wasn't looking for it. I think he's thinking, oh, man, I'm at 2 strikes. There's no way I'm going to see a fastball. I think Hilliard got himself out there. Oh, nice changeup as Acuna's jumping on it. Oh, wow. That's interesting. So Acuna just swung out of his shoes on a changeup. And what that tells you is, oh, yeah, he wanted that to be a fastball, and it's not. So generally, that means you don't throw another fastball. And you threw 99 in a place that generally could be hittable. But he got a foul ball. So to me, as a pitcher, that tells me that, like, pitch by pitch, Acuna is changing his plan. And that means that he's going to expect not a fastball now. Yeah. Easy spit. I think if you threw that on the previous pitch, it would have worked. Because that's, again, such a good pitch, right? 1-2, 100. Literally right at the top, because I don't know how that dot says that's a strike. So if it's a filled-in dot, that's a strike. And, okay, I guess. But, man, that is not strike 3. How is that not strike 3? Because Bobby Miller's fastball just doesn't get enough vertical break. I want that to really be, like, the takeaway of this for you guys. And you notice he's going every other, and I think Acuna is aware of that, so I would not be throwing a fastball now. Yeah, see, he was late on that. He really got his foot down, and he was messed up on that. Got to change it for me? Oh, slider, he's way out in front of that. At 3-2, way out in front, expecting a fastball. That's like, look at him sling the bat at this. And this is hittable. And he just flung his bat out. Ooh. So you got 99 down, fouled off. Okay. There's that slider, right?
Bullpen getting ready.
See, fastball, and you really do see the movement again here. This is a really good example of it. I'm going to stop this one. I'm sorry. Here we go. You can see it. No, Nick. Here. So you see it. Like, this looks like it's coming inside, right? Nope. Wow, look at that. Look at that curl. You know? And this is actually a really good example. Oh, man. I do want to highlight this. You might be able to get more whiffs down than you are up with this break. And let me explain how that possibly could be a thing. So, the plane of the bat is here, right? This is the plane of the bat versus the plane of the bat being flatter over here. So if you are moving this way, if you're going up, right? You're going up, a swing here, a pitch here, then all of a sudden it goes here and you miss the bat. But if you are moving this way, a swing over here still hits the bat over here, right? However, a miss this is a terrible whatever. Swing here, misses it here, and you might actually get, you know, some contact there. But swing here to here, you miss the bat, or you miss the ball, right? Does that make sense? The angle of the bat speaks to different whiffs that you would get in a different place. So that's why I think you can actually, this is a great angle of it. You can see how the bat plane is different, where if he's missing it here and the ball goes up to here, he'll still hit it, but not that way. Pretty cool to see that. That's why I think down and away might be the way to go.
1-2 from Bobby Miller.
He misses. He doesn't get the whiff there. Because it's a flatter bat up there, right? To be able to hit that. Throw a changeup. Yes. Throw another changeup. No. Throw a slider or a changeup, please. 1 to 2. Slider gets him. Yes. That's a slider that I wanted him to get him on the first at bat. Nice. So, and he's amped up. I mean, that was his last batter. That's Bobby Miller. Very interesting, right? It's not normal for us to see 100 that is more of a command focus than it is a overwhelming stuff focus. But that's kind of what Bobby Miller does. My biggest concerns are, is that really who he is? Command is the least sticky of the two, right? It is much less sticky than stuff is. And it's start by start. We see this all the time. Guys have amazing command, and we don't. We watched Tanner Houck the other day, right? So Bobby Miller, are you going to be able to spot pitches like you just did? Looking at the actual mechanics of this, I think this is very good. All very straight coming through, and it's not noisy. I see a lot of windups that are doing a lot of things, very quick, twitchy, all that kind of stuff. Very good flow from start to finish. I don't feel like he all of a sudden rushes. It's very good ramp up into the pitch. I think that's stable. I think that helps him with his command here. He gets everything moving forward. Yeah, I think Bobby Miller is good. It's just not top 25 because I think the fastball's too hittable. And that's just the case. And I don't think that his changeup or slider are elite. Still, very good pitcher. And I'm excited to see more of him. I want to see the slider and changeup start missing more bats. And once you get there, then all of a sudden you might have something legit. But that is Bobby Miller. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Make sure to leave a comment about who you want to see next. I'm going to be covering hopefully everyone that is relevant to this year. So leave your comments. I will take those into consideration. And I especially want to focus on when guys are good. More so than bad, but of course we'll go over those bad starts as well to say like, yeah, that is actually bad, or maybe it was just some bad luck. We'll talk about it then. But that is it. So my name is Nick Pollack, and may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.